Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this first of 5 short videos about working in prisons. These 5 are going to be free to you. And depending on the popularity and the traction, we might offer another course that is specific to teaching Dharma in prisons. So this first video is titled, "So You Want to Work with the Incarcerated." A lot of people contact me who are very excited about working with the incarcerated. I think that part of that excitement has to do with the fact that we're all being called so deeply to transformation right now in these difficult times. And generally speaking, people in jails or prisons who have had a hard stop on any kind of a normal life are very, very motivated to transform. So the work can be very exciting and very infatuating, and it can also have a lot of pitfalls and is not for everybody. I would say most of the people that want to work in a prison might not be suited to do so. So today I am going to go over 5 short points. And the first one is discerning the call. So as you feel called to work with the incarcerated, really ask yourself, why? What is it in me that is activated, that is leaning towards actually going into a prison or a jail and working with the incarcerated population? Really ask yourself. And as you find out what in you is at work, is inspired by this, ask yourself, and what is my skill set? What is my skill set? So some people feel the call to work with the incarcerated out of genuine care and concern for the out of control, just excessive sentences and the way our justice system has become an injustice system. Some people are called because they have maybe family members who are in prison or jail, and they see the hunger for transformation, and they actually do have skill sets that can be helpful. Other people might feel a little bit guilty about something in their life, and maybe they want to, maybe they're conscious or unconscious about how the incarcerated population might mediate some of that guilt. Only they would know, only that person would know. So it's really important to ask yourself, what tools and skills do I have to bring in? If you have group facilitation skills, that's wonderful. If you are currently involved in a 12-step program, that's also wonderful. And you will find a lot more programs that are based in recovery than some of the more kind of generous and open-ended self-help programs that I experienced in San Quentin. It's important that you understand your relationship to authority. Working in a prison is a paramilitary setting. You have people there working there who come from a law enforcement background or perhaps the service, possibly intergenerational corrections officers, and etc. And chain of command is really, really important to follow. So it's important for you to ask yourself, what is my relationship with authority? Can I follow chain of command even when I see injustice happening? That is really difficult. Can potentially lead to a lot of moral and ethical conflict. So ask yourself, how and if you can follow a chain of command. Take inventory of your unhealed traumas. And this is really important, even if you never experience an inmate telling you their story of trauma, you're going into a setting that is full of trauma, whether it be in the energies, the auras of the people that you work with, or the energies and auras of the corrections officers. There's a lot of trauma in prison, and it can create kind of a vicarious effect on you if you have not dealt with your own traumas. It's important that at least you're aware of ways that you've been traumatized so that when you're triggered, you will have some resources at hand for putting your triggers and your activation of your trauma aside while you're present with the men or the women you're working with. And then finally, it's important to recognize that there are a lot of other ways to work with the incarcerated, including working with kids and working in reentry or halfway houses. I like to say that working with kids is prison ministry or prison chaplaincy or prison work, because you're working on the other end of the pipeline. For every kid that you can show them what connection feels like and how to be connected and how to name and feel their emotions and how to or the truth that they are a part of the greater community, that is really and truly going to serve that child in a way that they can stay on the course of connection and pro-social behavior. So if you feel called to work with the incarcerated, but you don't really want to go into a prison, work with kids or work with people in reentry programs. So that is the end of this first short video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and see you in the second one.